Hello everybody, here we are for the Pennzoil Cup Series, Race 8 at Talladega. This is the second super speedway race of the points season so far. We did have a couple in the beginning of the year, but those were only to determine the field for the Daytona 500. If we go back to Daytona 500, Zach Komaski was your winner. Will we see a different winner, or will Zach Komaski pull off another win? We'll have to see. Anyways, let's get your starting lineup for this second Super Speedway event. On the pole, Ryan Dunn, your Daytona winner from last year, and Kyle Singer on his outside. Best start for him this season. Row 2, Blaine Keys on a roll so far, and Brian Boone, similar colors to Kyle Singer. Row 3, Jay Barker, last week's winner, and Michael Kraft in the Yamaha Chevy. Row 4, Cody Russell's teammate, Derek Petrie as well, so the Big Motorsports teammates all starting in there. Row 5, Jack Newman in number 7 car, and Zach Cars on his outside. Row 6 has Eric Willis, a good starting spot for him, and Kyle Collins in his outside. Row 7, Giovanni Barraza just fell out of the points on the top 20, and Jay Durrell on his outside. Row 8, Michael Jones and Gary Weaver is also moving up through the points. Row 9 has Kevin Ulrich and David Barraza, a very good starting spot for that 71 car. Row 10 has Addison Steinbeck and your points leader Webster Zygarde for Harvey Motorsports Racing. Row 11 has Aaron Lukes and Jake Booker, your Michigan winner. Row 12 has Sam Rogers, your Atlanta winner, and Hergel Arvin Alonso on his outside. Row 13, Chloe Baker in the HBO Toyota, and Daniel Voiles, the Bud Shootout winner. Row 14, Michael Krister and AJ Davidson. Row 15 has Nicholas Samudio, and there's your Daytona winner. Not a good starting spot from those. Zach Komaski in 81. Row 16, Nick Purcell's Martinsville winner, and Brian Lenning in the 22 car. Row 17, Arsha Sain in the 24, and Ryan Kendall in the 56. Row 18, Brock McMahon and Ferdinand Gabat looking for his first Super Speedway start. Row 19, Callum Wood and Aaron Allen looking to just finish a race for the first time in his career so far. Row 20, Cooper Styron and Jose Bequez in the Double Team Motorsports car. And then finally, Row 21, Edison Packard and Matthew Brown. Now get ready, as these DNQs are going to be pretty surprising. Joseph Strigley, your Rookie of the Year points leader, does not make the race. Very surprising. Also on there, Nikita Rizkov, one of the Red Viper Racing cars. Anyways, here we go. Green flag is out as we're underway for our second Super Speedway race. Ryan Dunn will lead him to the green. Something special that pretty much is known for Talladega is that starting line is actually a little bit further down than at Daytona, and it provides some last lap passes. We'll see if we have one here tonight. And the number 9 car rockets off of turn 2 with help from the 60 car, but the 60 car will pull down with the 2 car behind. The 2 car of Jay Barker actually won at Bristol, and it's going to be very interesting to see, can he actually pull off a second win in a row. Although with how Talladega works, most likely if you get stuck on the outside, you will be going back. So we're going to have to see how everything plays out after this race ends, and will there be a big one too, because this is the main underlying story. You got all these people running up front, all these drivers running in such close quarters, running 3, 4 wide. Will there be a wreck? Will there be a big one? We don't know, but we're all just hoping, holding our breath, that there may not be one, because having a big one most likely take out a lot of drivers, and that's not what some of the people who are outside the top 20 want right now. If you look, there are 3 cars that actually retain their same paint schemes, however have different colors on the car. This is to support the team owners has a sibling that died, and they're running a memorial car for this race. So both Brian Lenning, Brock McMahon, and Ryan Kendall, they all are having a black and pink styled car for this Talladega race. It would be amazing if one of those guys could take home a win, but currently they all did not get good starting spots. But you know what happens at Talladega usually? If you get on the bottom, the entire track will actually just send you to the front. It's not really neat about racing, it's just trying to get into that line. Zach Komaski kind of camping out of the back so far. Qualified, I believe that was 30th where he qualified in that Blue Def Toyota. currently looking for a good race here, as he is slowly slipping after his Daytona win. However, he hasn't slipped outside the top 20. A very impressive season for what could have been a bad season for Kamaskis. We didn't really expect much going into this year, but he's definitely impressed a lot of people. We look back, running in last was Webster Zygarde, but now he's just gone to the bottom. Most likely will be in the front in a couple laps time. That 12 car is currently holding on to the point lead. A wreck it. Oh, there was a wreck! Caution is out! And I saw a car flipping, and there's a huge chunk of the field gone. The entire back half of the field. This is the big one we are suspecting, and it happens on lap 5. And if we look at the field, racing back to the line, you see Hergio Arvin Alonso, Jose Vaquez, Cooper Siron, just some names to make it through. And we're going to have to see who's involved. And it's Aaron Allen on the outside. And look at him up in the fence, flipping. What an incredible wreck. That 19 car is taking a wild ride. And wow, that 19 car, we do hope he's alright, because that was an insane wreck. We're going to follow the 79 car of Michael Krister. Oh man, it looks like the 00 car in the 54. Look at that car flip. He just got in the safer barrier and it just kept flipping his car up in the air. Krister will make it through kind of okay, but still with some damage. But the whole cause of that was the 54 and the 00 getting on contact. Here's Jack Newman, and oh, he's going to take a huge hit to the outside wall. You see Ryan Dunn's involved. I see Aaron Lukes. There's Eric Willis. The 71 car is going to get turned over by the 2. Almost similar to Kyle Busch's wreck at Talladega last year in the Sprint Cup Series. But wow, this is insane. Nick Purcell's you see just taking a wild ride. I see Zach Komansky, there's Jack Newman. The 68 car has a huge hit. The 25, 98. Man, there's a lot of cars involved in this. The 81 was also involved. Anyways, after that huge mess, we are back green flag racing as the 8 car of Hergio Arvin Alonso, and lucky enough to make it through, will come out as your leader. Cooper Siron, though, trying to get back by him on the outside. However, looks like he'll just blend right back in. Hergio Arvin Alonso used to be a team owner, but he has turned it over to Mark Francis Alonso. Used to drive the number 3 car, ended up driving for Hergio at the very end of the season for injured Ferdinand Gabat. And that team has had a lot of driver changes, almost confusing to keep up with. Definitely the most amount in this sport so far. But the 8 car, currently their team has been pretty consistent so far this year. No changes to be announced yet. However, that 58 car of the 58 car of Tasha Jasmine Rodeo has been rumored to be getting kicked out here pretty soon. Jake Booker, however, he actually raced for Philippines Racing Development, or Hergio Arvin Alonso Racing back in the day. That 5 car went to the championship with them, but also raced with National Racing before that. However, after the season, Jake Booker went back to National Racing to rejoin his old team as by request, and not only that, the team actually let him go just because they wanted him for the championship season. So the 5 car, it all worked out for him last year, can work out for him this year. This is the 81 car. He was involved in that big wreck. That 81 things do not look good for him, as he's in a kind of a fallout pack right now. This small little pack is a group of drivers who were involved in that wreck and just trying to make the laps. You see them all running single file, trying to get the most amount of speed they can. The 79 kind of ducking out a little bit, but as long as they can make it back, they'll still have a good points day, as a lot of people are taking out in that wreck. Here's the front, as Cooper Siron is currently in the lead, taking it from his teammate Daniel Voiles. That 17 car was able to make it through the wreck, and he definitely needs a good run, as that 17 car has not had many as of late. But that Black & Decker Dodge is currently looking for one at the moment. Really been a harsh season on the rookies for Red Viper Racing. Red Viper Racing in total has had a dismal year so far. However, Daniel Voiles has been pulling it back together, getting almost into the top 20 points. We're going to have to see if that plays out, because he's running up front right now. Here's a better look at 2 of your black and pink cars out in front. In fact, all 3 of them missed the race. Could have been some luck from up above, but these 3 cars are looking to take one home for their team owner, Alex Tanker in that 56 car is currently running the field right now. That Scott Chevy showing the way. I just gotta point out here for a second, when we went into the series, there was one driver that was just not making races. This is Matthew Brown I'm talking about. This 21 car has only improved as the season went on, and he's actually been making races more and more consistently, and currently it's only getting better. And oh, we got a wreck! No! And another big wreck as tons of cars taken out in this one. Daniel Voiles, and that's Ryan Kendall. He was your leader. Excuse me. Another big one, as this could be classified as the big one too. But even in this cut pack, we still see another one. You see the 47's gonna just get up in the groove, and he's gonna create a chain reaction up through the front of the field. And I see Brian Lenning involved, Ryan Kendall. Webster Zygarde's in this. I see Jose Vequez is done from the day, it looks like. That 51 car is silent on the apron. I'm going to see, it looks like the 34, the 17, the 47 all get together. And the 77 involved, 63, 34, 78, 70. Just a ton of names. Kind of a fender bender, but this guy, Jose Vequez, will not be driving away from it. As you see, he's going to hit pretty hard in the side of the car, but I guess the car pretty much quit on him. So I guess that was enough damage to do it, because Jose was not able to drive away after that one. Green flag will shout at the field again as they go underneath it. Down into turn 1 goes the 38 car. However, there was some pit strategy as some guys decided to get in front of the field by staying out. This including Aaron Lukes, Michael Krister, Callum Wood, and I believe, Jay Durrell as well. And I believe Zach Cars could have been another one. But the cars that are behind them on fresher tires and on the lead lap are chopping through the field. You see the 53 car is leading them, as well as the 08 car, the 8, the 24, the 11, all coming up through the field. And it does not take long at all, because here comes the 53 car for Big Motorsports. He's back in the lead of the race as he's getting underneath the 79 car. Derek Petrie did not get a win despite how good he was last season until race 11 at Eagles Point, which is not on the roster this season again. So Derek Petrie looking to get a first win at a different track this season, and Talladega wouldn't be too bad. And if you look behind him, that's Michael Kraft, the winner here last year. We haven't talked much about him. I believe he was caught up in the wreck, but he's been able to keep his speed. So that 11 car doing very well as well out on the track in that Yamaha Chevy. And currently the Big Motorsports teammates out front, until Matthew Brown is going to make his way by for DW Motorsports, that Speedco Ford Mustang, a variant of the Ford for this season. It's almost a prototype, and DW Motorsports has decided to run as well as Auto Racing, I believe it's Auto Racing Motorsports for the 44 car. But anyways, Matthew Brown, very, very good driver currently right now, and he has 3 laps to go until he will claim himself as a winner in this series. However, he's got to hold off a ton of hard charging cars. How about that 08 car? The Lane Chevy trying to bring one home for Tanker Motorsports. They have not gotten a win yet in their career. Here comes the 08 of Brock McMahon. Made his first start at race 24 of last year. That 08 car looking to bring it to the front as he's going underneath the 21 car. The 21 better make his way down to the bottom really quick, or his hopes at winning may be over. But the 8 car is going to the inside. Here comes the 22, another Tanker Motorsports car that was wound up in a wreck, but managed to come to the front despite it all. Brian Lenning in the 22 car is up into the front, but he's carrying along Derek Petrie in the 53 car. Behind him, Ferdinand Gabat, Arsha Sane. A lot of big names are actually showing their heads up here, as Arsha Sane, Michael Kraft, Daniel Voiles all are almost inside the top 20. And look at Ryan Kendall. There's all 3 of the Tanker Motorsports cars up here. Incredible race for them, and what a spectacular showing for Tanker Motorsports. Out of turn 4, we will see the white flag this time. Hergio Arvin Alonso leading the field to the white flag. Derek Petrie right behind him looking for his first win of the series, and his Hergio's teammate is also back there. Fernandez Gabot being pushed by Arshasane. It's a two-car breakaway, and another two-car breakaway behind them. I believe it'll just come down to the 8 and the 53. The 63 is kind of damaged, so I believe that is why that Tango is not catching up with them. Yep, it looks like it's going to be down to the 8 and the 53. Where will the 53 make his move? And can the 8 hold on long enough to get his team the first win of their season? Sergio Alonso, this is his 9th career run for a points race, ran back at Brickyard last season and hasn't returned since this season. Anyways, no move made. Checkered flag is flying in the air. The 8 car will take it home for Philippines Racing Development. And what a great finish that was, as the 8 car will take home the win. Great job for Philippines Racing Development, and Derek Petrie will be a solid man as he'll finish 2nd. Do those burnouts, Sergio, as he'll give his team the first win of his season. And you see Fernandez Gabot, what a good finish for him, finishing 3rd as well, despite with a wrecked car. Matthew Brown, give props for him, good all day in that 21 car. And Jake Booker needed another good run, as he'll finish 6th. You see Arshasane and Derek Petrie, good runs for them as well. But I want to congratulate Ryan Kendall, Brock McMahon, and Brian Lenning, all of them making on the top 14 for the first time in the team's career. Great finish, and what a better time to do it as well. Kevin Ulrich, Brian Boone also come home. Actually, I think they were both lapped down by the time this happened, so a lot of misfortune actually on the track. Zach Komosky had a bad day despite winning. Webster Zygarde, even though he did have a bad day finishing 18th, that's not really the worst situation he could have been in when it comes to points. Cooper Sauron, Kyle Collins, Chloe Baker, Aaron Lukes, all these guys finishing up inside the 2nd zone. But here's the final zone, and let me just tell you, every single person on here DNF'd by the end of this race. And this is actually the biggest race where the most cars have DNF'd. Do hope Aaron Allen is okay, because that was a very scary wreck. Nick Purcell's also went over in that one. And talk about the worst finish possible for Barraza Inc., with Giovanni and David Barraza finishing 41st and 42nd. Here are your point standings, as, like I said, Webster Zygarde, not such a bad points day if you think about it. Michael Kraft will actually pull up to 2nd in points though, but still nowhere near Webster Zygarde. In fact, I believe even if the number 12 car misses next race, he still will be the leader in the points. However, I cannot confirm that, but it's definitely close. Brian Boom moves his way up to 3rd. Ryan Dunn falls to 4th after being in 2nd, so the winner... So, pretty much the dominant car from last season is not doing as good as he was last year. Honorable mention on here, Joseph Srigley missed the race. He's still inside the top 20, but you see his teammate Callum Wood has passed him up. And looking there, Daniel Voiles also has secured himself inside the top 20, as Sergio Alonso and Jake Booker. So those 3 cars have moved up. And Kyle Collins, Brian Lenning, and Aaron Lukes have all fallen down. Here are your Rookie of the Year point standings, as Callum Wood, for the first time in the series history, has pulled ahead of Joseph Srigley after missing the race, only by 4 points. But it's definitely there. You see his teammate Jose Vaquez also there. It's a 3-way tie, or a 3-way battle for the points lead just between the teammates. And everyone else below them is kind of starting to fall off, although Brock McMahon is gaining an advantage on these guys. Cesar Chavez also falling back after missing 2 races. The Pennzoil Cup Series will see you next race at Palm Beach. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week.